This is
Good evening.
VK2RMP.
This is VK2WI. Tonight's news broadcast from Amateur Radio New South Wales originates from the VK2WI facilities at Dural, Sydney, which is staffed by the volunteers of our broadcast team. Transmissions this evening are being made on frequencies between 160 metres and 23 centimetres. The announcer will advise on the transmitter status. In addition, automated relays will carry the broadcast through some regional VHF and UHF repeaters, and we thank the custodians of these systems for making the service available. Now, here are your announcer and engineer with this evening's news.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. Your announcer this evening is a slightly croaky Matthew, VK2YAP, with Tim, VK2ZTM, in engineering tonight. Visitors here at Dural this evening? Well, we haven't got any here at the moment, it's just us. The weather here tonight is a cool and somewhat clear evening with a temperature outside of about 12 degrees Celsius. Winter is coming. Rainfall at the VK2WI site over the last week was 8mm. Our transmitter status this evening is all okay.
This is a news broadcast from VK2WI. March 2010 marked 100 years of the WIA, the world's oldest amateur radio society. It was started in 1910 as a result of a meeting held in Sydney by a group of experimenters seeking a better deal. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news.
And in the news from Amateur Radio New South Wales for this week. Last Sunday's Trash and Treasure was well attended on a fine and mild autumn day. A number of attendees visited from out of town, as usual. And a check of the attendance books at the end of the day found that 75 attendees had signed in. Our next Trash and Treasure here at Dural will be at the end of July. But before that, coming up in 2 weeks' time, Sunday the 17th of June, is a Talkfest here at Dural, and it's on the topic of antennas. We've got a full program for the day at 9am with 6 speakers covering a wide range of antenna topics, such as dipoles, buddy poles, inverter Vs, G5RVs, screwdrivers, plus a flower pot antenna. But you didn't know a flower pot could be an antenna. We'll come along and find out. There'll also be a presentation on feed lines and antenna analysis with a practical component. After lunch, there'll be members can bring along quick erect antennas and test them out in the field. Due to popular demand, there'll be a raffle as well, and the first prize will be an antenna analyzer, which works from 160 metres through to 2 metres. There'll be other prizes as well. No RSVP for the day, just turn up. Presentation starting at just about 10am, maybe a bit earlier, and the usual sumptuous barbecue lunch will be provided as well. Now, the field activities will require some changes to parking on site for the event. The area adjacent to the antenna building will be reserved for the antenna test range. So parking will be restricted over to the east side of the property, that's over beyond the VK2WI brick building. And mark the date, that's Sunday, the 17th of June, 2 weeks from now. Now, we've got some news about US licence exams in Sydney. They're on again. If you're interested in obtaining a US amateur licence, the Sydney-based ARRL volunteer examiner team conducting an assessment session on Sunday the 1st of July. It'll be at Bankstown Airport starting from 8am. The examinations will use the new technician question pool. Training material and further information will be found at the website, which is hamexam.space. Information about exam registration and bookings can be found on the website ceexams.com. That's ceexams.com. And that's thanks to Julian, VK2YJS. We now move on to the weekly solar and geophysical report. This is for the period of the 25th to the 31st of May. Firstly, we have the summary, and the dates across the columns are the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st of May. Firstly, the 10cm flux, 76, 73, 75, 77, 75, 75, and 77 on the 31st of May. The Fredericksburg A index, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, at 11 estimated for the 31st. The Australian A index, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then 7 estimated for the 31st. And the T index, 4, 3, 4, 9, 5, and 4 for the 31st. Solar flare activity was very low all week, except on the 28th, where some low-level activity was observed. in the form of one C-class solar flare and a few B-class flares. Geomagnetic activity in the Australian region was quiet from the 25th through to the 30th, but then it came up a little bit, reaching quiet to unsettled levels on the 31st of May. AM2F2 critical frequencies in the southern Australian region remain near predicted monthly values during local daytime, but like last week we saw some enhancements at local nighttime. The nighttime frequencies were enhanced by 20% on the 25th, 15% on the 26th, 25% on the 27th, 20% on the 28th, 25% on the 29th of May, and also 25% on the 30th of May during local nights. The 31st, however, remained predicted throughout both day and night, near predicted monthly values. And now, the forecast for the 1st to the 7th of June, solar activity is expected to be very low to low. Geomagnetic activity, though, is expected to reach active levels on the 1st to the 3rd of June before returning later in the week back down to sort of quiet to unsettled levels. The maximum usable frequencies are expected to be near predicted monthly values. That data, as always, with thanks to Space Weather Services. While we're on the subject of space weather, we've got the solar flux index figures for this week. And now we've just finished May, so the figures for May were a minimum of 67, average of 71 and a maximum of 77. The peak dates were between the 24th and the 31st of May. As we start June, the prediction so far is a minimum of 70, an average of 73 and a maximum of 77, with peak dates between the 1st and the 6th of June. Now looking ahead to July, we're expecting a minimum of 70, an average of 71 and a maximum of 72, with peak dates between the 8th and the 12th. And that update, thanks to Noel, VK2FUL.
This is a news broadcast from VK2WI. To submit news for inclusion in these sessions, please email it to news@arnsw.org.au by the end of business on Friday. You can help us with presentation by writing your news item in the third person and limiting it to about one A4 page in an easily read font. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news.
And now we have the ARRL DX news. And that starts off this week in Algeria. Members of the amateur radio Algérien active with special events station 7X2 FIFA for the 2018 FIFA World Cup until July 15. Rwanda, Harold DF2WO will be active as 9X2AW from Kigali. From June 5th through to 24th, activity will be on all HF bands using CW, SSB, RTTY and FT8. Now we've got quite a few stations, special event stations active for the FIFA World Cup in Morocco. The special event station CN18FWC active until July 15, the World Cup. Grenada special event station J32 FIFA. And then in Ecuador we've got Fausto HC5VF, and he'll be active as HD18 FIFA for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. That's until July 15. Now to Bulgaria, and members of the Bulgarian Radio Club of Ostenik are active during the month of June as LZ430PPW, honouring the memory of Bulgarian saints. At Land Island OH0, there'll be a group of operators active as OG0C and OG0C/P from Kakao IOTA EU002 until June the 6th. Activity will be on 82 metres using CW, SSB and FT8. In Suriname, there'll be a special event station, PZ18 FIFA, active once again until July 15 during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. In Sweden, members of the Swedish Ham Radio IRU Society are also active with their special event station, SF18FWC, for the FIFA World Cup. In Australia, members of the Hellenic Amateur Radio Association of Australia are active as VK18 FIFA until July 15 for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Sao Tome and Principe, S9. David EB7DX is active as S9ZZ from Sao Tome Islands, that's IOTA AF023, until June the 9th. Activity is holiday
This is VK2RMP.
using CW, SSB, RTTY and FT8. To Somalia and Baldur, DJ6SI is active as 60X rather, that should be, from Hagresia until June 6th. Activity will be on 30 and 20 metres using CW. Lord Howe Island, VK9L. Doug, VK3YQS, will be active as VK9LA from IOTA OC004, active on the HF bands. And in Iraq, another special event station, YI0 FIFA, active once again until July 15 during the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And Kosovo, Members of SHRAC are active with special call Z60 FIFA until July 15. For New Zealand, special event station ZM50LA is active in commemoration of maritime tragedies occurred 50 years ago. During June, the respective event is the sinking of the freighter MV Maranui. This weekend on the radio sees the 1010 International Open Season PSK contest, the NCCC Ritty Sprint, the NCCC CW Sprint, the HA3NS Sprint Memorial CW contest, the PVRC Reunion, DigiFest, Wake Up QRP CW Sprint, CNET contest, the UK SMG Summer 6 metre contest, summer there, Kentucky QSO Party, the Dutch Kingdom contest, the IARU Region 1 CW Field Day and the RSGB National CW Field Day. The RSGB 80 metre Club Data Championship is scheduled for June 4th, the ARS Spartan CW Sprint scheduled for June 5th, and the CW Ops Mini CW Test and Phone Fray scheduled for June 6th. And don't forget the ARRL International Grid Chase, which continues throughout 2018. And now to Wyson news, and we've just had True Grit that just ran over this weekend, concluded earlier today. Another Wyson event is the Obstacle Course Racing World Championship, coming up on Friday the 8th and Saturday the 9th of June, and that's also, like True Grit, at Lower Portland in northwest Sydney. Now a new event to the Wyson calendar is GWT, which is the Glowworm Tunnel Trail Running Weekend. That's at Nunes, just north of Lithgow, and it's on the 16th and 17th of June. That event will be a good experience for those about operating in a remote location. Coming up later in June is the 30th annual Nav Shield. That's a bush navigation contest. It's on June 23-24. The course is set in a secret, rugged bushland location that's usually about 2.5 hours drive out of Sydney. Now the Wyson website at nsw.wyson.org.au includes membership information, a web contact form, as well as other contact details and useful links. Logging in gives members access to further coming events and various operational manuals. Facebook users will find the official Wyson New South Wales page along with an informal national Wyson group. Wyson Northern Rivers holds a weekly net on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. local time on the Lismore 2-metre repeater VK2RSC. It's on 146.8 MHz and requires a 123 Hz tone. Listen for VK2WIR. And a meeting of Northern Rivers is planned for Sunday the 10th of June, 10 a.m. at the site club site. The Wyson Mid-North Coast region meets at 3:30 p.m. on the first Saturday of the month at the SES headquarters in Central Road, Port Macquarie. The Mid-North Coast region is also running an HF net on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m, now on the band plan's 80-metre Wyson frequency, which is 3.6 MHz. Wyson ACT is part of the Canberra Region Amateur Radio Club, supporting events in the ACT and Capital Country. The National Capital Rally concluded today. Next weekend is the SCSCC Bega Rally. Saturday, July 21st is the BMSC Narooma Rally, and then the Batemans Bay Rally is on August 11th. See the Wyson Adventure page at www.crarc.ampr.org. Wyson Victoria has a net on 3.6 MHz each Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. local time. Victoria, the Mallee Rally is on next weekend, that's the 9th and 10th of June, at the spectacular Lake Tyrrell and Sea Lake. For all the details, visit their website at vic.wyson.org.au. And that's with thanks to Julie and VK2YGS on behalf of the Wyson New South Wales State Management Committee.
This is a news broadcast from VK2WI. For voice contact with Amateur Radio New South Wales, telephone 02 9651 1490, which will take you to our message bank. For written contact, write to PO Box 6044, Dural Delivery Centre, New South Wales 2158, or email office@arnsw.org.au. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news. That we do, and we continue with club news. We start this week with news from the Oxley Region Amateur Radio Club. The club's annual field day is on next weekend, Saturday the 9th and Sunday the 10th of June. The venue is Warhope High School Hall, which is in Nelson Street at the end of Campbell Street, which runs off High Street in the Warhope CBD. That's about 20 kilometres west from Port Macquarie via the Oxley Highway. Driving time's about 20 minutes. Watch out for double demerits that weekend. All the usual field day activities will be there, so remember to bring your projects along for the homebrew display and competition. Don't miss the trade and special interest displays. Bring your surplus items along for the disposals. There'll be demonstrations of live HF, VHF and UHF digital voice and weak signal communications. Fox hunts will run on both Saturday and Sunday. Everyone will be well fed from the barbecue. Tea, coffee and soft drinks will also be available.
The field day dinner will be at the Port Macquarie Golf Club on Saturday night, as in past years. And don't forget, it's a good idea to book accommodation before the field day as soon as you can, because Port Macquarie is a very popular destination on the Queen's birthday long weekend. The club also like to mention that the 6-metre repeater VK2RCN on 53.8 MHz is now operational at Telegraph Point. No CTCSS tones required, and the offset is -1 MHz. Transmits on 52.8 to the repeater. It transmits on 53.8. The club conducts 2 nets each week. The mid-week net starts at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday nights, and then there's a weekend net which starts at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Both nets are on the VK2RPM 2-metre repeater 146.7 MHz. This repeater requires a 91.5 Hz subaudible tone for access. The next meeting of the club is the Friday night gathering, which will be 7 p.m. on the evening of Friday the 15th of June, and they'll be in the SES building, Port Macquarie. As always, visitors are always welcome. For more information about the club, visit the website at orarc.org. The site contains a wealth of amateur radio items in addition to club information. The May 2018 web edition of the club bi-monthly newsletter Oxtails, along with the past issues, can be viewed on the website. And that's a thanks to Henry VK2ZHE for the Oxley Region Amateur Radio Club. Now we head south to the Illawarra Amateur Radio Society, and they meet on the second Tuesday of the month, so their next meeting is coming up on the 12th of June. General meeting starts at 7:30 p.m, directly following the committee meeting, which is at 6:30 p.m. Meetings are at the Coniston Community Hall, Bridge Street, Coniston. That's just a little south of the CBD of Wollongong, and the hall's right next door to Coniston Railway Station, so access to the meeting by train is really easy. This year is the Society's 70th anniversary, and there's several activities planned to celebrate this milestone. Firstly, the Society has been allocated a special call sign of VI2AMW70 for the duration of the anniversary period. And secondly, by happy coincidence, the meeting of the 12th of June is coincident with the actual date of the official formation of the Society back in 1948. On the Saturday following the meeting, that's Saturday the 16th of June, there'll be an anniversary lunch held at the Wollongong Golf Club. All past and present members, along with partners, most cordially invited to join in the celebration. On the weekend of the 30th of June and the 1st of July, the Society is holding a field day weekend at the Good Hope Resort camping area on Burrinjuck Dam, located just south of Yass. Members and listeners alike are most welcome to come along and have fun with antennas, radios, telescopic masts, good food and great comradeship. And the special event call sign will be active all weekend. And to top it all off, the big anniversary event is at the field day weekend on Sunday the 1st of July with the launch of a high altitude balloon. The balloon's payload will contain APRS along with a CW beacon transmitting on 28.636 MHz. The APRS transmission will send balloon height, location and general status. Now, for more information on all these anniversary activities, you can contact the Society Secretary, which is Keith, VK2KQB. Keith's email address is iars.keithb@gmail.com. That address once again is iars.keithb@gmail.com. For anybody interested in gaining their amateur radio licence in the Illawarra or Shoalhaven areas, don't forget the Society has a team of enthusiastic amateurs led by Ted, VK2ARA, who can assist, mentor, teach and then examine for your licence. The team runs learning programs, foundations
This is VK2RMP
and can be contacted by emailing Ted at vk2ara@wia.org.au. That does include all listeners are invited to attend the next meeting of the Illawarra Amateur Radio Society, 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday the 12th of June, celebrating the Society's 70th anniversary night, and it's at the Coniston Community Hall in Wollongong. That's a thanks to Rob, VK2MT, is the Publicity Officer for the Illawarra Amateur Radio Society. And now into Sydney, St George Amateur Radio Society's next gathering is on Wednesday evening, the 6th of June. There'll be a presentation by Dr. Brian Clark, VK2GCE, on a topic close to my heart, antenna coupling units or ACUs. Now, these are not the same as antenna tuning units, which you may be familiar with. All you really need for an ACU is some side cutters or soldering iron if you're really enthusiastic. But an ACU, where does an ACU fit among all the other components in the total system between the sender and the receiver? Why do we need ACUs, and how do they work? Well, Brian, VK2GC, will discuss these questions and then proceed to show you how to design a simple ACU, including things you've got to consider like power, frequency, voltage and current on the ACU components. So, say if you were offered an ACU that allegedly handles 1 kilowatt, you'll earn to ask questions such as, really 1 kilowatt, at what frequency? What output impedance to match what range of antenna impedances and at what cost? After the presentation, there'll be the usual refreshments, All members, local amateurs and others interested are invited to attend. There'll be the usual tables full of disposal equipment looking for a new home. Meeting rooms are at Donnelly Park, which is Coal Parade, Connells Point near South Hazeville, and the gathering starts at 7:30pm. If you want to use what 3 words to get there, just put in the address, Torch, Bath, Frosted. And that's thanks to Peter, VK2EMU, for the St George Amateur Radio Society. Now, from the Hornsby and District Amateur Radio Club, their next meeting is on Tuesday the 12th of June. This will be the informal mid-monthly meeting consisting of discussions on all things radio and beyond. The meeting is at the Mount Colah Community Centre, which is in Pierre Close, Mount Colah. That's on the eastern side of Mount Colah Railway Station. Now, as this Tuesday is the 5th in May, well, it's 5 Tuesdays in this month, so there's 2 Tuesdays in a row without a meeting, because meetings are on the alternate Tuesdays. I think that makes sense. Celebrations of the first direct message from the UK to Australia are being planned for September, and they include a special call sign which will be VK100 Marconi. More on that later. The club runs 3 nets each week. Monday nights at 8pm on the VK2 RNS 2-metre repeater, which is on 147.25 MHz. No tone required, but a 91.5Hz tone is sent. The Wednesday evening net is on 80 metres, 3608.5 kHz, and it's also at 8pm. And then there's Morning Tea with Haddock, which is on ear 7106 kHz, starting at 9am on Fridays. All the details are on Haddock's website, which is www.hadarc.org.au. There's a group on Facebook, which can be found for searching for the club call sign VK2MA, and on Twitter at VK2MA. And that's thanks to Julian, VK2YJS, the Haddock Publicity Officer.
This is VK2WI nearing the end of tonight's news bulletin. The text version of this bulletin will be available from Monday on the Amateur Radio New South Wales website. Also on this site you can find details of our services, membership and general information about amateur radio. The address is www.arnsw.org.au. This is VK2WI. We now continue with this evening's news.
And we're on to the summary of coming events. Now for June, the St George Amateur Radio Society gathering is on the 6th. The Hunter Radio Group has a meeting at the Adamstown Bowling Club on the 8th. Oxley Region ARC Field Days over the Queen's Birthday Long Weekend is on the 9th and the 10th. Also on the 9th and the 10th is the VK Shives Contest. The Illawarra Amateur Radio Society has a meeting and their anniversary at Coniston Community Hall on the 12th. Haddock mid-monthly meeting is on the 12th. The Illawarra Amateur Radio Society 70th anniversary lunch is on the 16th. Amateur Radio New South Wales has got a talk fest on antennas on the 17th here at VK2WI Dural. Also on the weekend of the 16th and the 17th is the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club Foundation course. And rounding out the month is Nav Shield, which is a white event on the 23rd and 24th of June. Looking ahead to July sees the US Amateur Radio License exams at Bankstown Airport coming up on the 1st. The George Amateur Radio Society has a gathering on the 4th. And the Warringah Radio Society has a training and licensing day on the 7th. Amateur Radio New South Wales has a foundation course and assessment weekend the 14th and the 15th. The Trans-Tasman Low Band contest is on the 21st of July. And at Amateur Radio New South Wales Dural is Trash and Treasure and the Radio Experimenters Group meeting on the 29th of July. Looking ahead to August, the St George Amateur Radio Society has got another gathering on the 1st. The Remembrance Day contest is the 11th and the 12th. The International Lighthouse and Lightship weekend is on the 18th and the 19th. And the Fisher's Ghost Amateur Radio Club has a meeting on the 29th of August. Now, to submit news items for inclusion in our news bulletins, please email them to news@arnsw.org.au by the Friday night preceding the broadcast. Audio items can also be accepted, we like those, but please email in advance to make the arrangements. The address again is news@arnsw.org.au. And now to the broadcast roster. Next Sunday morning, our announcer will be Eric with a K, VK2EJH, and Peter, VK2HC, will be engineer. Then in the evening, announcer will be John, VK2JV, with Eric, again, VK2AJH, as engineer. He's doubling up. That concludes our news for tonight. Your announcer has been the very croaky Matthew, VK2YAP, and your engineer has been the less croaky Tim, VK2ZTM. Callbacks will be taken shortly. Please call back to the relay station that provided the broadcast to you. The Mount Vindo repeater, VK2RDX. Callbacks will be taken shortly, and the numbers will be relayed to us here at VK2WI. We will listen for callbacks to those who took the broadcast direct from us. In the announcer's booth, I will start with 20 metres, and then do 80, 40, 30 and 160. An engineering team will take callbacks on 10 metres and up, VHF and UHF frequencies, and he will advise the order shortly. So that's it for now. All the best from the broadcast team here at VK2WI. Have a great week, and thanks for